Hey, Mom.
Hey, sweetheart.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Did you see another movie?
I did see another movie. Dangerous Liaisons.
Ooh, no, with Uma Thurman
And
and
Glenn
Glenn Close.
Close. Yes, and John Malkovich.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
I I have never watched a movie where the protagonists are so deliciously evil. I mean, it was so
Yes.
I mean, they were like vampires, except they were real people. They didn't even have vampires as being an excuse. They,
And Uma Thurman and Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, they were both beautiful. I mean, Uma Thurman, the innocent, beautiful young girl
yeah, I thought she
being,
did a great
totally
job of that.
violated, and then him truly falling in love with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Um,
Actually, I thought, shockingly, I think this is the only movie I've ever seen where this is the case. I feel like Michelle Pfeiffer was the weakest female character in there. And I don't think I've ever said that before in my life. And that's not really a statement against her. It was just how powerful Glenn Close's performance
Yeah,
was.
that character was a force in nature.
You just
A
every
complete force in
moment
nature.
she was on screen, I was just mesmerized and horrified.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was so good. I couldn't keep track of who was screwing who. There was so like everyone had at least three lovers at the same time and each other, and you know like, oh, he's screwing that one and that one and oh, and that one, oh, too. And it was a very French movie.
Very,
It
very
wasn't it
French.
wasn't the movie wasn't French, but you could tell the source material was.
Was French, right?
The
This is totally normal. I screw her, but the woman I truly love.
It was
Yeah.
wild. Uh, I mean, that book came out in 1782.
I thought it was a modern book. That came out in 1782?
1782, Mom. Can you imagine how scandalous that was in 1782?
Yeah, but it's probably true.
And I heard that Marie Antoinette had to make the cover for her copy blank so that no one would recognize the cover or the author because it was so scandalous.
Oh, but
It was
that's.
that bad.
Well, the one way to guarantee that everyone will read your book is ban it or make it scandalous.
Yeah.
Everyone will read it.
It, did- I was
Somebody
wild.
bans your book. Go,
No,
yay!
banning your book is like a surefire way to success. That's how we have The Prince by Machiavelli. The
Oh, I
only
know.
reason we still have that is because it was on file in the Pope's
Right.
banning section. You know
Brilliant.
the movie is not actually based on the book. It's based on the play that's based on the book. There's like two,
You mean Dangerous Liaisons?
yeah, Dangerous Liaisons. There's like two
Well, because there was
layers.
probably a lot more screwing, and the play was probably more condensed.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting? Do you know what actor made the role of the Count famous in the theater scene? You know what actor what did that?
Which one?
Alan Rickman. This was before he was a movie actor. He was on stage. He made that role famous, and they didn't give him the part because he wasn't like a big name actor. And and this was in 1988. Guess what role Alan Rickman got in 1988? Die
Die
Hard.
Hard.
He became a sensation that
iconic.
year. That year. They
Oh,
had
I would love him to see. Oh my God! Can you imagine? He must have been fabulous.
fabulous. Like the moment I heard, I was like, "Oh my God, he must have been perfect for that
I
role."
mean, I know no slight to Malcolm.
No, Malkovich
He's
did a
an
great
amazing
job.
actor, but Rickman.
Oh
I
wow,
mean, he can be so deliciously evil.
so good.
Oh my God! I would have never thought. Oh man!
I
Don't
wonder
think
if you
go
can
back
track
in
down.
time and see. I wonder if somebody filmed it.
I've already explained to you how much I enjoy watching the battle between love and virtue. What concerns me is that you appear to enjoy watching it more than you used to enjoy winning it.
All in good time.
The century is drawing to its close, Vicomte.
No, it's true. She has resisted me for more than 2 months now, and that's very nearly a record, but I really don't want to hurry things. We go for a walk together almost every day. A little further down the path that has no turning. She's accepted my love. I've accepted her friendship. We're both aware how little there is to choose between them. Her eyes are closing. Every step she tries to take away from the inevitable conclusion brings her a little closer to it. Hopes and fears, passion and suspense, even if you're in the theater, what more could you ask?
Awesome.
Priceless.
Price.
Is what it sounds.
Yeah.
It's past.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah, he was such a force in every movie he was in. Even
True.
silly movies, he was
Yeah.
great in those, like in Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Galaxy Quest.
Oh,
Awesome!
he was the best in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, Glenn Close.
Glenn Close was just, for me, stole the show. Every scene she was in, and also just the dynamic she had with Malkovich was just so compelling, and like they had so much unspoken history between them, and every conversation they had felt like these like two predators just
Right, but she was almost like a queen, and he was like her assassin who she pointed at someone to destroy them.
yes, using sex. It was
back then it was so taboo. I mean, it was the same thing. You're killing somebody. You're killing them in society. That you could starve to death. You could, if you're ruined, you be thrown out on the street. I mean, it was a big deal.
It was.
There was no social parachute of any kind.
No. I felt like he and Michelle Pfeiffer did not. I felt like they didn't have that much chemistry.
I agree.
Like it was fine.
I got the same thing. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer. I got that. Why he would be in love with her, but the chemistry wasn't
quite there. It
No.
didn't ruin the film because I think it almost added to it because there was this ambiguity of whether or not he really loved her. That I think if they had intense chemistry, that ambiguity would not have been a thing.
Right.
So it might have worked to the movie's favor.
And Uma Thurman's big, wide-eyed, blue-eyed, innocent. I mean, she just looked.
She was beautiful. Yeah, she was great. Also, Keanu Reeves. Do you remember he's in that movie?
No.
You forgot he's in that movie? He plays the one who loves Uma Thurman. Like, actually loves her. And you don't remember this?
Well, no, but it's been a long time since I've
Well,
seen
he's
the movie.
obviously
I
he's
didn't
the weak.
remember he was in there.
Obviously,
Well,
he's.
I mean, when you compare Glenn Close or anybody else's performance,
He was the
lost.
weakest one there, yeah. It kind of worked for him because he's playing kind of a character who's not very serious and kind of awkward, and the awkwardness of his acting kind of works for that. So it kind of worked. Anyway, that was great. And they showed it to me so that, because they want to show me the movie being John Malkovich, and apparently it has references to that movie. So there's stages. I'm going to be seeing that movie soon now.
No, I've never seen that movie.
Apparently it's wild.
I haven't seen I've heard it's wild, but I haven't seen it.
They gave me just like a description that I basically almost didn't understand it just based off of the description. That was that wild.
Describing, you go,
Huh?